Morning, guys. I just dropped off trailers from Sydney. And I picked up a set. Go back to the yard. Just the empty ones. I'll check them over and make sure there's no problems with them. Give them a wash. Now, as I said, I come down from Sydney, and then I will have 3 days off. Should be 4 days off because it's Easter. It's Thursday at the moment. Easter Friday tomorrow, and then we'll actually go out Monday. Trailers will get loaded tonight, and we'll be out on the Monday public holiday to be up in Sydney on Tuesday if everything goes well. They did cancel a load out of Melbourne last night, so we'll hopefully we'll go. As you can see, we're still working, but time will tell what's going to happen. Just never know. At the moment it's pretty busy, especially out of Sydney. Probably not so much in Melbourne, but Sydney definitely. Hopefully get the truck washed. As you can see, it's quite dirty. Now, if you don't live in Australia, we're in a bit of a lockdown at the moment. Not too bad, just got to go out, essential services. Not allowed to be more than 2 people in a group. You are allowed to exercise. You can go to medical appointments, and you can go shopping. But other than that, you got to stay home, which I think is pretty much like that in most countries. Now, time will tell. They're actually building a service centre there. Time will tell what's going to happen. That could all change by Monday, and I might not go in anywhere. So we'll see what the weekend brings. Now I've got a few things to do around the house, so I don't have a problem with staying home. We've also had since I've done the last video, we've also had some heavy rain, had a bit of flooding, actually changed some fires, I guess. And we've also had some snow. So who knows what the rest of the year is going to bring. Now, we haven't gotten to the flu season yet, so that could be interesting. And there's a lot of people out of work, as we know, and that's everywhere. We're lucky enough, there's still a lot of companies working, so we're still delivering a lot of parcels and things, so doing pretty well with that. Now, I know the government's giving out a lot of money, although it's probably half of what I usually get per week, so I'd rather keep working and pay the bills rather than have to call people and say I can't pay. So it's good to be working. Probably a lot of people in trouble right now, can't pay things. Got a little bit of drama on this corner up here. Looks like someone's spun around there somewhere. I had that problem on the way in. I'm just clearing it up now. The good thing about everyone staying at home and working from home when they can, and no schools, they've all been closed down, is the traffic's not as bad. When I usually go into Sydney, you've probably seen it, where the traffic stopped. Well, you can actually do 100 kilometres an hour on that road now, on the M7. So there is something good come out of it. As for truck stops, there's still, a lot of them are still open, but you can't really sit with friends or anything like that when you're having a meal. You've got to sit on your own. Everyone's got to be spaced apart, have their social distancing. So what probably used to be 20 or 30 tables in a truck stop is down to about 5, so one chair at each. I don't eat at them. Showers are still open, a lot of them. Some are closed, I've noticed. I've actually come across that myself. So I'm doing okay. Others are not. It's, as you can probably be the same everywhere. Now I was thinking about when this is all over and the tourism starts back up again. Of course, there's so many people out of work. They're probably using their long service leave. So tourism will probably have to wait an extra at least 3 months till people get annual leave and they can take a week off. And some may even gone over their annual leave and they have to work before they can accumulate it back up. So unfortunately, I think the tourism industry is going to suffer a little bit longer. As with cinemas too, I guess. So I guess there's no movies being made, so they'll have to wait a little bit longer until they get movies back in the cinemas. And I think everyone's going to be affected in some way. I think the freight will possibly be affected later on, maybe not so much now. And we've got tax coming up, and that's usually a slowdown period as well, so I think the future's going to be a little bit not too good. Of course, nobody knows, it's all guesswork. Everyone complains about leaders of countries, but I'm pretty sure I would not want to be one right now. But it's quite amazing. I was looking at other things that people die from around the world, and the statistics are very high. Now, just from cardiac problems, like the death toll around the world is 17 million, and that was in 2018. Cancer-related issues was 10 million around the world. So there's 27 million in 2018 died. From other medical issues. And another thing I actually looked at was road tolls, deaths on the road. 1.3 million, or a little bit more than that, 1.35 million around the world. I know this virus spreads really quick and there's a lot of people dying, but maybe after this they'll start throwing more research into other areas if they've got the money left. Maybe they will come up with a vaccine soon. I think the world's throwing everything they got at it, so we'll see if they come up with anything. And they haven't come up with anything to cure the flu as yet, so hopefully they'll find something soon. So other than that, everything's going pretty well. The truck's going well. Done 122,000 kilometres right now. Still breaking it in. Hasn't been any dramas. I'm actually leaving Sydney a little bit earlier now. They said trailers will be getting out a little bit earlier for the next few weeks if we're working. Melbourne's still a little bit slow, but there isn't much freight, I guess, so they're trying to fill them before they send them out. Always got to top up that last 2 spaces, but you usually got to wait for another truck to turn up from somewhere else before they can load it. It's only about 20 minutes back to depot from when I dropped the trailers off. Not too bad. I've actually got a green light for a change. There's a police car on the corner, so I'll just make sure I'll stop if this turns. All good. Going through on the green. Sort of hidden behind that. There's a 4-wheel drive there. Sort of hidden behind there, so we'll do the right thing. Now, of course, if you're out and about, the police can actually fine you, and that's a $1,600 fine if you're out unnecessarily. So you've got to be very careful. And I've been told that you can get fined more than once. So if you decide to go on a bit of a country drive, you might get caught twice before you get to your destination, and you might get caught twice on the way back. Oh, better stop. Won't go through these ones. So your $1,600 fine could end up, you know, $5,000 or $6,000. So you're best to stay home. You've got to have a good excuse. I actually got a letter from the employer to say that we're a transport operator, and I'm actually going backwards or forwards to work. I've actually got one for the truck as well when I leave each end, just to say I'm carting freight, and you have to sign it and put your trailer numbers and things like that. So, and they're doing that to this automatics really slow. Not that you'll probably get pulled over by a in a truck, because they can cross borders. They actually stop people crossing borders as well. Trucks are letting through. Haven't been any problems as yet. There's our friendly police car going past now. Of course, we've got to pull up beside it. Lucky the lights changed, I guess, in case he looked over and seen something wrong, and there shouldn't be anything wrong, but it's always in the back of your mind, isn't it? My logbook's up to date and everything, so I wasn't worried about that. You always think about that. Oh, have I forgot to put something down, or forgot to put a line somewhere? Make sure there's no cars coming down the inside, which does happen. So that's just an update of what's going on. Hopefully I'll be going out Monday. And that'll be another short week. Just 2 trips to Sydney. And then we'll go out again on the Sunday. So I'll be back Friday next week and then go out Sunday. So I won't be, then I got actual 3 trips that week, so that's a tough one, especially when you haven't done 2 short weeks. I've only done 2 this week too, so yeah, it starts to get tough after that. Alright, not far from the depot now, so I'll get things ready to go home, and thought I'd do a quick update because it's been a couple of weeks. We clung to 3, I suppose. So yeah, just stay safe. Try and keep your distance. I personally haven't heard of anybody that's got this COVID-19. and I haven't heard of anybody that's got it. None of my friends or any of my friends they know haven't got it, so I guess we've been lucky. And I think Australia's up to, I don't know, about 10,000 infections now, so we'll leave it there. Stay safe, and I'll do another update in, I don't know, maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday I'll do one on the way up. Leave a little bit early. Alright, later guys.